I read newspapers. Normally from newspapers or from the news, from the TV, from television, yes.
I read newspapers. I read at internet some different pages.
Papers or news on telly?
A newspaper.
The same one? Or?
Yes, AD, Algemeen Dagblad.
Okay, great.
And when I'm working, I go to internet.
Yeah.
When I'm nothing to have to do, I read it on the computer.
Oh, from the newspaper, or read in the internet, or teletext on television, yeah.
And what newspapers do you read?
Mannheimer Morgen and Frankfurt Rundschau.
Yeah.
Well, as I'm half German, I watch the Tagesschau in the evening at 8. I try, and then I read the Süddeutsche.
So you actually read newspapers?
I do, yes.
I'm a student, so I travel by metro. And there are free papers like the Metro and the Spitz. That's one. And by internet there's a page www.nu.nl, now.nl, and there's actual the last news is there.
Yes, my daily news are but only from the television.
From the television?
Yes, I can read the teletext, but not so the newspapers I don't read.
Okay.
I only read the television.
Okay. So why don't you read newspapers?
Because my parents have no newspaper, and for me it's better than I can read on the television.
Television, okay, great.
Either newspaper or TV.
Yeah. So which newspaper would you go to? What is it?
Oh, there's either the Daily Telegraph or Sunday Telegraph in Australia.
Yeah.
At least like once every 2 days, I would say, even if it is a local rather than a national newspaper.
Yeah, every day, every single day.
Some days at school I'll look at the sport pages at the back. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Daily. Yeah. Almost every day.
Almost every day.
So.
If you watch like the daily news on telly and you read the papers, then you get kind of middle ground.
Okay.
Actually, I'm not someone who is really interested in what's going around, but it's a habit.
It's a habit.
So I just have to read the newspaper in the morning. So it's not about trusting or not trusting. I just have to read some news. Most of the times it's very putting off because early morning you don't want to know about murders and rapes. From the news, from the television, you just say roughly, but from newspapers, all the details will come out. Yeah.
Okay. We all grew up reading the newspaper, so the website is not, a medium which I would like to use, especially for news. I think it is a little boring to be scrolling up and down, whereas newspapers, one way you just hold it first thing in the morning, having your coffee. That's the way news is fun.
How often do you read the news on the internet?
Every day.
Every day?
Every day.
Do you prefer it to the newspaper?
No, I prefer the newspaper.
Oh, really? Why is that?
When I get up in the morning at 6 o'clock, I read the newspaper, a quarter of minutes, half an hour.
Yeah.
So that's that I prefer the most.
Okay. So you read the news on the internet from the AD newspaper?
Yes.
Okay. And which do you prefer, the actual newspaper or the internet site they have?
The internet.
Yeah. Why is that?
It's easy.
It's easy.
It's easy. It's very easy. So.
Television, because it's kind of, you don't have to. It's easier.
It's
so,
easier.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Do you have a computer at your desk?
Yes, we have.
We
don't have time to see at the website or for news. We won't have time to do that.
Is that because you're not allowed by the company, or just that you really are so busy?
We are very busy. Yeah, we don't have time for that. Not exactly. I don't surf on the net a lot because I don't get the time to, but early morning I definitely do read the newspaper, not even television.
Do you read the internet site of the newspaper, or which internet sites do you read to get your news?
It's different.
Right.
Sites with sports, daily news, local news.
But the local news, are they sites that belong to a newspaper, or
yes, that our sites belong to a newspaper. That's correct. Yes.
Yeah, but not for news or something. It's more specific for school or for football or something. Or yeah, so.
Yahoo.
Yeah.
Yahoo start page. Then sometimes if I'm abroad, I look at the Spiegel and also the Süddeutsche.
Okay.
Because I travel a lot.
Okay. And the news that you get from Yahoo?
Yeah.
Do you prefer that to the news that you get from Süddeutsche? Or?
No, not really.
No.
It's very.
What's the difference?
Well, it's very general and more. How would I say? More.
Just very basic.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Nothing too deep.
No.
Okay.
Do you think the news that you get from a search engine is better than the news in the newspaper?
No, you don't know where the news are from, because you don't know the people who write it. From my newspapers, I know who writes it. They have a special meaning, and so I think it's better to read the newspaper than the internet.
If it's really big news that I really want to know about, then I would. Otherwise, I wouldn't.
Okay. And do you ever look at the internet?
Yeah, I do actually, a lot.
Do you use it to get information about sport? Or?
Yeah, like scores and updated scores and stuff.
And
like
which
that.
sites would you typically visit?
It's all different ones, like Fox Sports in Australia and all that. It's like all sports websites.
But would you visit your newspaper website?
No, I wouldn't.
Any reason?
Oh, I've never thought about it. I've never thought about it.
Okay, that's great. Thanks a lot then.
That's all right.
Okay.
The one I use most is Google, I'd say, definitely. Hotmail, that's about it, really.
And why do you like Google so much?
Because that's the first search engine I ever used, and I know how to use it now.
You can get to anything else from it, so.
Yeah.
There are some sites like Wikipedia.de. It's to search on everything, or such of the search machines, such as Google or Lycos. Yeah.
Okay, great. What are important features of a website for you, do you think?
Easy to use. Definitely. Easy and obvious. Like some websites are you have to search and search and search before you find what you want. Something that's simple, like
clear
that's
layout.
clear, like got the bars down the side and you just click on each of the bars or something.
Do you ever use Wikipedia? Do you know what Wikipedia is?
No.
Okay.
Is it anything to do with Expedia? Like the same people that do the holidays?
No, it's but I mean, one could see why you would think that with a pedia at the end. You mentioned that you knew about Wikipedia.
Right.
Now, are you aware that with Wikipedia people can go in and they can edit what other people have written? Did you know that?
I know that.
Yeah.
People can, post their own messages and all. It's a kind of a blog, basically.
So do you trust the information on that?
Usually it's been okay, but I can't say that, I fully rely on it.
I chat at times, which is very boring.
Why is that boring?
Because you just don't get decent people to chat with. They're all into some weird stuff. You cannot have conversations with people.
Okay. Okay, and who's going to win tonight? Everybody?
Holland! Holland!